So with all the changes going on in the Buffalo Sabres organization over the past couple of weeks and probably in the coming months, we're going to take a look at a possible trade rumor for the Buffalo Sabres between the Buffalo Sabres and the New York Rangers. We're going to be taking a look at that in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. And let's take a look at Casey Mittelstadt possibly going to the New York Rangers. So I threw you a little bit of a curveball there at the end of the intro. Yes, Casey Mittelstadt possibly going to the New York Rangers. Now, we need a little bit of context behind that to see how that could possibly go through. And you know the recent name out of the New York Rangers organization that has not been happy, won't be coming back to the Rangers. The only way he's coming back to North America is if he gets traded. And yes, that is Lias Andersson. So if we look at the two players in a possible trade, a possible 1-for-1, Casey Mittelstadt for Lias Andersson, does that work? We'll be looking at that. So we're going to take a look at Lias Andersson here to start it off. He is a draft pick in the first round back in the 2017 NHL Draft. 7th overall pick by the New York Rangers, and it was considered an off-the-board pick at the time. It was considered off the board by the Rangers. An interesting pick by the Rangers, something that we didn't completely see coming. And the Rangers, obviously were a team that were looking to add some more forwards to their group, and that was their solution, was trying to bring in a guy like Lias Andersson. He's a Swedish player. He's a centerman. He can also play the wing as well. He's a left shot. So it was interesting to see the Rangers, obviously, like I mentioned, adding a forward like Andersson. It seemed like a pretty solid fit. Back in 2018, he tossed his medal into the stands. Obviously, the whole debacle with that. The Rangers stuck behind him with that move. And since then, we've kind of seen some of those attitude issues with Lias Andersson. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get into it, but there's been talk about he's had some mental health issues, some possible bullying and things like that. I'm not going to get into that. That's all speculation, but that has been has been put out there as well. So there's obviously some stuff in the locker room that Lias Andersson has had issues with in his time in North America with the New York Rangers. So he is definitely looking for a new change of scenery. This season, he demanded a trade from the team. He pretty much just bolted back home to Sweden overnight. He put up 9 points in 66 games this season with the New York Rangers. He spent part of the season with the Hartford Wolfpack, but once he got sent down, he pretty much went and packed up his bags, headed back to Sweden. Now we're taking a look at the other side here in the Buffalo Sabres draft pick, Casey Mittelstadt. He also went in that 2017 NHL Draft. Not 7th overall like Lias Andersson. He went 8th overall in that same draft. So they went back-to-back picks back in the 2017 first round of the NHL Draft. Casey Mittelstadt has been an interesting story in his time with the Buffalo Sabres. He's got 39 points in 114 games with the Buffalo Sabres. He spent a large portion of his time in the Sabres organization down in the American Hockey League with the Rochester Americans, where his numbers were really nothing glamorous either. So it kind of raises the question, are the Buffalo Sabres at least interested in making a move there to try and move out a guy like Casey Mittelstadt, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher? In his time with the American Hockey League in Rochester, he put up 9 points in 31 games played down in Rochester. So again, a disappointing stats number there, even in the American Hockey League for Casey Mittelstadt. And you look at the center depth for the Buffalo Sabres right now. You've got, obviously, Jack Eichel as your first-line center. First-round pick from last season, Dylan Cousins. He'll probably be the second-line center for this team. So Casey Mittelstadt now becomes a third-liner, which could still work. But the Buffalo Sabres could be exploring a possible trade, just a change of scenery for a guy like Casey Mittelstadt. The Lias Andersson is not even, in talk with the New York Rangers. I think the Buffalo Sabres could get more out of the New York Rangers in this trade. They could possibly pick up a guy like Lias Andersson, who is pretty much the same kind of player as Mittelstadt at this point. He does have some attitude issues, which the Rangers, which the Buffalo Sabres kind of don't want to deal with any of that right now. They don't want more drama up there in Buffalo, but maybe they're willing to take a chance. They could also pick up another draft pick, possibly another depth player to help out their organization there in Buffalo. I wonder if one of their depth guys would be interesting to the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, a goaltender. Maybe they take that Henrik Lundqvist contract. I don't know what the ramifications in terms of his value are at this point, but that would definitely be interesting to see. Would the New York Rangers be willing to let go of Lias Andersson, which I think they're pretty much just trying to find any way to push him out the door? Would Casey Mittelstadt be an option for the New York Rangers in the future? Leave in the comment section down below. What do you think of the validity of these trade rumors? Obviously, it is just trade rumors, but now with the shakeup in Buffalo, all possibilities will probably be thrown out there for Kevin Adams. They have the 8th overall selection in this year's draft. Does that have anything to do with it as well? Do they see themselves picking up a guy like Cole Perfetti or Marco Rossi or a winger, Lucas Raymond, Alex Holtz? So maybe they don't need Casey Mittelstadt as much. We'll have to see what happens. But leave in the comment section down below what do you think of that. And if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.